Welcome to the Podski.
What? Ooh, yeah.
You understand, baby?
Dig it?
Let me tell you another thing.
First name John, last name Baker. Uh-huh. Brother.
Hello and welcome to the Podski. I am your host, the man of 1,000 gimmicks, Johnny Bake Show, and the Doctor of Podski is here. The Podski Doc is back. We are doing a little switcherooski this week because Andretti decided to go to the beach. I mean, what kind of race car driver goes to the beach middle of the season? I'll never know. But
you're gonna get sand in your bearings.
You can't race it. You can't race on a beach. I know they did it back in Daytona back in the day, but they ain't doing that no more.
You need big wheels.
They keep on turning.
Yeah, that's right. Proud Mary, keep on burning.
But we will be back with Andretti and Mongoose at some point here in the next couple weeks. But today we are going to take a look at the San Diego Comic-Con figure reviews. And there was a lot of figures that were shown. We want to get on here and talk about them. There's a little bit of, it's a good time to talk about it now because all the dust has settled. So there's really no like extra surprises. We already know what's out, what's going to be. So kind of perfect timing to throw this out there because now people know and they can go out and they can look for more. We're also going to talk about this weekend SummerSlam and a little bit of Raw. So it's episode 59, and I was on vacation last week, so I'm back into the swing of things.
Slacker.
Yeah. But
some of us been out here grinding.
Some of that grind. And here grind.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, the deepest. But yeah, it's been we're getting back into the swing of things here. Hopefully you checked out last week with Hot Shots Wrestling Alliance. Hopefully you checked out what we did there. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for the SmackDown brand. And
the A+ show is just riding the highest of highs.
I don't even know what to do to even get back in it.
Just concede. I will take your resignation letter. I will, as the overlord and the A+ booker man, I will happily show you the trophy you're not going to win. But it's going to stay right over my shoulder here in that bookcase. It's going to stay with Papa.
There's a mutiny within my locker room because Dewdrop's a piece of shit.
But she's so over.
No, she's not. She's not over.
Okay, the YouTube video would say otherwise.
The YouTube video views would say otherwise. I know.
You caught the Scottish wave.
She absolutely screwed my entire brand. Screwed it raw. Like,
oh man.
SmackDown went raw. I don't even know. Like, she just ruined all my plans. I need to get rid of her. I'm going to have to vacate. I'm going to have to turn it into Eric Bischoff. I'm going to have to vacate the title and get rid of her.
It worked for me this last week. Okay?
It legitimately did.
Bruno Sammartino left the promotion, left a vacated title. And thankfully, I, not knowing what a match was going to look like, got Cody to win Money in the Bank.
Got so damn lucky.
And fell backwards into a great situation. And then, not to play spoiler, but the boyhood dream. Everything fell into place. My week, my draft day plans, we're now hitting our stride. We got some good stuff coming up here. We're about to run wild.
Postomania is going to run wild.
Dude, you know what? Let's open a store at Mall of America. We're going to put a ring in front of it. Sting's already here. There's a Flair. There's a Rhodes. Can we get Lex Luger out there for an appearance? Probably. Let's get him a puffy shirt.
We'll talk about that puffy shirt later.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. But yeah, check out Hot Shots Wrestling Alliance if you want to see good booking versus piss poor booking.
It's not piss poor booking.
Okay, you know what? You don't want to go with the new hotness that is Dewdrop. Okay,
She's
We're
not
getting-
hotness. She's always
we're
hurt. You can't
getting-
have a hurt champion every time.
we're getting, shoot world views. Okay, we're
We're big in India.
we're big in India. We're big in Scotland. We are slowly taking. We are the intercontinental champions.
That is true. We are the intercontinental champions of podcasting.
That's right. We are 100%, and I request the white strap. Okay, I know you
Yeah.
might want like a lilac or some
No, I'm not running wild
irreparably
with,
damaged by
Warrior.
popular culture choice, but
I am irreparably damaged by popular culture, but not when it comes to title belts.
now I have a reason to go get an IC title. I wanted one anyway, but now I really have a reason to do it. One day I'm going to show up on this podcast just strapped up.
Yeah.
This is a problem. I'm going to have adult money real soon, and I'm not going to know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But
It is a big deal.
anyway, yeah. Check out Hot Shots. It's a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun, and if you want to see our fearless host get a mud hole stomped in him and walk dry every week,
The
can
game is
check out
fighting against me. won't-
okay.
I'm putting together good shit.
Do you smell collusion? Do you smell it real bad?
If you would look at my booking throughout the first 12 weeks,
Who's
you
in
would
first?
see superiority on the SmackDown brand.
Who's in first?
But what you are starting to see is that the game, you got that little tiny trophy of yours, and now there's nothing I can do that's going to get ahead of you. And that's some bullshit.
I still have more fans and more money than you.
You had more money
Without-
but I still
without
have
the
way more
trophy.
fans than you.
I still have more fans than you.
Because of the trophy. If you didn't have the trophy, I'd be ahead.
That has nothing to do with it.
It
You're full of
definitely
it.
does.
You're a toy chewer, okay? First of all, this is some toy chewer antics. John is down, by the way. John is down. The fact that I have a commissioner trophy has nothing to do with the fact that I put distance between you and I in our fan bases. No one wants to watch the shanky garbage. The India market is not coming out for your show. Okay? The Scottish
They didn't
market
even come
is.
out for the cheeseburger picnic.
I know, but it's rural Pennsylvania. What are you gonna do? They're not coming out for your show. You're denying the Scottish market their chosen champion.
It's not.
I don't know why.
She's always hurt.
Are you Lizzoing her? Is this what
Yes,
you're
I
doing?
will.
Please don't. But you are not listening to your fan bases. You're catering to the wrong one. You want Shanky in a top spot, and this man couldn't get over a top rope. Okay,
He's
and
already
he's 7 foot tall.
He's already out of the spotlight. He earned his. He won the championship from Sammy. He's out, and we got a new number one contender.
Yeah, so now you got Sami Zayn in there who couldn't draw a dime outside of Montreal. Okay, he's got a protuberance in his elbow right now that looked disgusting. You can't
Yeah.
market that. Put a mask on that thing, okay? We can't market that. I'm out here booking stars in great positions in matches that you want to see, okay? We always wanted to see Cody and Sting in AEW. It didn't happen. Balor and Cody hasn't happened yet. Okay, that's a New Japan dream match. Okay, that's on the horizon. We could do another 3-way. We got Charlotte Flair in here waiting for a new opponent. There is storylines here. Things are happening. The fans love it. The AI loves it. You just gotta, you gotta. This is what happened. I am at a point where I have reached like peak doctor. Okay. The creative juices are flowing. You're at. This is okay. Last thing I'll say about this. This is what happens with people with bachelor's degrees. Okay.
Oh wow!
they're-
Here we go.
They finish 4 years and they think they know shit. Okay. But if you've ever been to college and you've had a professor, we know a lot more than you think. You may think we're dumb. You may think we don't know what we're talking about. You may think we not be competent or we're not competent. Bro, okay? Proof is in the pudding. The pudding is WCW A plus, SmackDown at least a C minus. Okay. In my grade book, because I love you, because you're one of my closest friends.
It's been a C minus for the last 3 weeks. I will say that. But up until
I'll
then,
give you a B
it
minus.
was a B plus to A minus.
I don't know about all that shit. That was a lot
It's
of
only
shanky for
turned
it
in
to
the
be a
last
B
3
plus.
weeks.
Yeah, but just because the AI says in your case. Okay.
Oh, so it works for that narrative, but not this one.
Exactly. You know what? It held the red flame down, but I have booked him into being a rising star. Screw Zoe Stark. He's the fastest rising star in this business. The red flame.
I mean, the Red Flame was a great addition.
He really
You
is.
started getting traction whenever he showed up, so maybe the proof is in the flame.
It really is. It's the proof is in the thigh chafe.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
We have spent so much production money just on anti-chafing stuff and his boots to get around those calves.
Yeah. Zippers
yet,
have been screaming.
But you know what? You know, if you're gonna be a star, you gotta look like a star.
That is true.
And
does he look like a
when
star?
you
I don't
see,
know.
yes,
He's got
but
the
when
look.
Exactly. When you see that Darth Maul headpiece with the taking care of business sunglasses built right in, that's efficiency. We love that. Gets over with the crowd big time.
Uh-huh.
You see that rolling down the ring to the ring, you know
Squared
you're in
circle.
for a good, you know you are in for a good 10 to 15 seconds. That's all he's got before he's blown up. But
yeah,
much like many people's love lives, that 10 to 15 seconds is just the best part of your week. Okay? Just, he's a star. He's over. And, you know, it's proof's in the pudding, man. New shirt at AllisonRules.com. Proof is in the pudding.
Oh my. Well, yes. So to plug the socials, be sure to check out Hot Shots Wrestling Alliance on YouTube at the Podski with John Baker on YouTube. You can check us out on Twitter and or X now, and Instagram at yeah, really, at _Podski. We're also on Facebook. You can check that out there as well. But yeah, Hot Shots is shucking and jiving. We're almost halfway through our journey. So once we hit
victory.
Once we hit SummerSlam, we are on the road to WrestleMania or Podski Mania. So but yeah,
I'll concede that we can call it Baker Mania 1.
We should just call it Hot Shots Mania.
Yeah, you don't want to have it be Baker Mania and then me whoop your ass all over it. So that's probably smart to tuck tail and run already. You're dealing with a superior intellect here.
That is true.
I am bald as fuck, and here's why. Because there is so much brain power in here that I no longer have room for hair follicles.
Yeah. Is that what
they
it
were
is?
they were pushed out. So it's like, and now it just grows out of my face. And it's great. So I have a nice long beard. But I'm but that's why I'm bald, because there is so much brain power in here and so much intellect. And the IQ is just, people talk about ring IQ. Okay. And that's a real thing. I've got booking IQ.
Oh God. All right. Are you done shilling for yourself?
No. Give me the damn pencil.
I mean, we have been saying give us a damn pencil for a long time.
Another shirt at AllisonRules.com. Give us the damn pencil.
Oh my gosh. All right. But yeah, so we had the SummerSlam this weekend, where some might say you should have been given the damn pencil, or you were trying to steal the pencil for the aftermath of SummerSlam. But we had a really good. I thought that this SummerSlam this weekend has to be probably one of the better SummerSlams that I can remember. I don't know if it was better than last year. I want to say yes, just because I like the ending a lot, and I really like the Cody storyline. I like to think that it's better. I'm going to say that it was better. I'm going to give an overall like a quick score, I'd say that this is probably this is a B plus for a core 4 show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought that it was really good. What'd you think about it?
I thought it was good. I thought it started off well.
It definitely lulled,
Yeah, there was a lull.
and it was long. Yeah,
Yeah. Um, I liked the opener. The Cody match was obviously awesome. The Seth and Finn match, I thought we'll get into it a little bit more, but I thought it was very well done. The ending's a little hokey, or not hokey, but a little overbooked for my taste. But I get it where they're going. They have a lot of story to get through there.
apparently bottom of the 3rd inning still.
Yeah, so they say. The women's match, I thought it was good. No, I thought it was good. I thought
Which one, the triple threat or the Ronda match?
Yeah, one of them was good. One of them had Ronda Rousey in it. Yeah, I wasn't really into the Ronda Rousey match. I thought the triple threat match was very good, well booked. I felt bad for Bianca to then win it, and then whatever, a minute or two later Io cash in. But I was happy for Io. That's really good for her.
And good for the SmackDown brand. That's what should have happened on SmackDown.
Yeah, well, you still can't draw a damn dime, so whatever. And then the main event. I did watch the Slim Jim Battle Royal.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay. The right person won. And then interestingly, they had him come out on his opposite brand yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm cool with that because I don't watch SmackDown, so that's fine. But I thought it all was really good. I saw a lot of people complaining about the ending of the Bloodline match. It was like, well, this is a swerve. They're running out of stuff to do.
I don't think so.
I kind of tend to agree with you on that. Like, it's
There's
something
plenty of
different
story
than
there
what you
left.
thought. Yeah,
there's plenty of meat left on that bone.
Yeah, people. Oh, they jumped the shark with it. Why don't
They
you
did
calm
not.
down? No, they didn't. So, yeah, overall, I thought it was really good, and we have a couple high points here to talk about. But overall, yeah, I thought it was. I think you got it right, a B plus.
Yeah, I thought that it started off well with the Logan Paul match. I thought that was. I mean, now knowing that he was trying to get to Jake Paul's fight later on, and he just hopped the jet, I can see why they put him on first, and it made a lot of sense because you want a hot opener like that. Really like that they gave Ricochet a spotlight, or like put him in a high profile match like that, because he's one of those guys that kind of felt like since he's been on the main roster, like one of those guys that's like been around and like kind of lost in the shuffle sometimes. And hopefully like this feud, and as well as it came off and as well as it played, that they're willing to give him more. And we'll get to a little bit of that when we get to the Raw review.
Yeah, there's a couple guys they're doing that for, and I really like to see it. So we'll talk about that when we get to Raw.
Right. I thought that it was excellent. I thought that, the little stuff that they did with adding Samantha into the mix, I thought that was creative, not overdone. You don't have to get her involved in any physicality. Like, let that part alone. I thought they did a good job of that, of not over. It's kind of like the beginning where it was not overbooked, but then you get to the end, and I don't think that the ending was overbooked. A lot of people will say that it's overbooked, but I don't think that it was. But yeah, I really, really liked the match. I thought it was great, and I'm glad that makes sense. Logan Paul cheats to win, but also could be a really good launching pad and like get good traction for Ricochet.
Right, because Logan Paul is still, I don't want to say an attraction because I don't think he's at that, like, there's attraction in that they only come in sometimes, and then there's attraction that they are so good that when they come back, like Brock is an attraction. Andre was an attraction.
The thing about Logan Paul is that he's close to being an attraction because of what he does. It's
so
because
I'm gonna
it's so unexpected that
yes.
it's so he's so good at it.
The shininess is gonna wear off if they don't manage that properly.
Yeah, I would
So
agree.
the way they're doing it right now, I agree that they're doing a good job because they're not using him too much.
Mhm.
They're highlighting what he can do, and they're putting him with people who can shine that.
I
So they're doing a
totally
really
agree.
good job with him.
Oh yeah,
And he's
absolutely.
working really hard. Like from a, you know, I don't like the persona of Logan Paul, like the internet guy, like whatever.
Hmm.
But you can tell he's putting in the work behind the scenes to actually take it seriously and do a good job, and I can
Hmm.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, it comes off. It doesn't always come off perfectly with him. Like some of the promo work and stuff, you can tell he's trying and he knows what to say, but it doesn't feel 100% authentic. Like he just doesn't have the polish. But
Yeah.
for where he's at versus what the output is, I mean, you have to be someone who just doesn't want to like him to say that he's not doing a good job for, in context.
So I'll do a little plug here for Netflix. So you're welcome, Netflix. You can sponsor the Podski if you'd like. Um, they
That'll
did
be
their
350.
they they do the Untold series, and that just launched. And like the one that came out this week is the Johnny Manziel one. So the one
Mhm.
that the season premiere was Jake Paul. And after watching that with Allison this weekend, even Allison turned babyface on him. Like I'm sure that was probably the whole gimmick to like help paint them in a better light, but like made them very likable. Both of them incredibly likable.
Mm,
So
very nice.
yeah, as long as they keep continuing to do what they're doing and doing it right, and I think that one of the good parts about it is that who's in charge now, and we'll be getting even into that once we get to Raw. But they're doing a really good job, and sky's the limit for the dude.
Yeah, I agree.
And then next we got into we had Cody and Brock, and I thought that the Cody and Brock video package, the video packages for this show were so well done. I don't know who's running it over there right now, but they're absolutely killing it. The Seth and Finn one actually made me care about that match. Because I mean, not that I didn't care before, but it got me really invested before the match. I was like, okay, now I want to watch this match. Like this not. I was thinking about skipping it beforehand, but I was like, nope, I'm watching now.
Yeah.
And always the bloodline stuff is always so expertly done. Like it's so good. Like, and then you get the Cody and Brock match, which felt like a typical Brock Lesnar match. He gets
Cody
in
bumped
there.
his ass off.
Oh yeah, totally bumped his ass off for the guy, and then like literally gets picked up like the smallest of hay bales and tossed over Brock's shoulder. Was really impressive.
Yeah.
But
And the stuff they did to like just the way it was worked and the storytelling in the match
yes,
of like it for all the people who were like, oh, he didn't earn the title last year, blah 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 blah. They've been trying to do that, and it required taking an ass kicking to get these people to like get on board with it. So I don't agree with it, but I get it.
Yeah.
This was one of the matches where you could say, okay, if you're gonna say he didn't earn it, explain it in the context after this match, because
yes,
like it was. I mean, let's be honest. Most of the match was Brock.
right.
Just tossing him around, telling him, don't get back in the ring, stay out there. He wouldn't stay out. He would come back in, get tossed back out, blah, 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 in and out, in and out. So the point was to get Cody's toughness over because like you look and Cody's really in shape, and he's a professional athlete. But if you look at the difference, like you can tell there's a difference between a professional wrestler and like the alpha of our species.
That's the best way to explain Brock Lesnar.
He really is. Like nothing's happening in Brock's life if Brock doesn't want it to happen.
Right.
So like you look at those two men and it's like one of these is clearly superior.
Right.
So the only way you could tell a reasonable story with that was Cody taking an ass whooping,
Mm-hmm.
and then, you know, in the context of WWE, which is, you know, choreographed or predetermined, however you want to explain it.
And damn it, it's still real to me.
It is still real to me. So he, you know, I thought they did a good job coming to a way that Cody could win and it would make sense in the world of pro wrestling.
Mhm.
And, you know, and especially at the end, which was unplanned.
Excellently done. That I popped
Brock-
to the
Brock-
moon
I-
when they did that.
I have so much more like respect and like for Brock.
Yeah.
He did not have to do that. He put over Cody very strong. If you look at like how this entire story went, he put him over so strong at so many different points.
Mm-hmm.
And then to do that at the end and kind of say, hey, this is the next guy.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't do that, and he also always had a rap for being somebody who not always the easiest to work with.
Yeah. He doesn't have to
but-
do Brock ain't gonna do anything he doesn't want to do. And
Right,
if
and
if it's unplanned and he went out there to do it, then he truly believed it, and
Yes.
that's genuine. It felt genuine as well. Like
It did, and Cody's face, because he didn't know it was coming. He legitimately thought he was gonna get punched in the face. If you look at his face right when they first hugged, if you look at Cody's face, he looks scared to death.
Yeah.
And that was the
like,
kind of
oh,
thing.
shit.
What is about to happen? So, I'm gonna have to put on my shooter boots and see
Right.
if I can get out of this. But no,
Yeah.
it was, as a Cody fan. Obviously I'm biased, but I thought
As
it was
big
the best
Cody
match on the
marks,
card.
yes, as big Cody marks as we are here tonight. This show, that's exactly what you want. And
Right.
that is just even more cementing and furthering the story, and exactly what Andretti and I had said from the beginning when we left WrestleMania Night 2, literally left the building and recorded that they want Cody to earn it. And it was too easy of a story for him to just walk into WrestleMania as number 30 in the Rumble and win it. It's way too easy. So
No, it wasn't, but whatever.
yeah, I know. But it was way too easy of a story for him. He's got to earn it this year. And I think that this still cements him as he's going to be pinned into the Royal Rumble as number 1 entrant, and he's going to go through all 30 and he's going to win it. And then that's how they finish the story, because he's going to earn it that way. It's going to be a hell of a ride if that's the way that it plays out, and all signs are still leading that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Are they listening to our damn booking? I feel like they are, because we've said so many things on here that have happened. If you're not listening to the Podski, please go back to the archives, because a lot of things that have happened already this year have been straight from our mouths. Now, I'm not saying that they're listening to the Podski, but I'm saying I'm not saying they're not.
Michael Hayes, in his drive to work every day, him and Denzel are listening up to the Podski.
I'm just saying, a lot of stuff that we've been talking about on here, and we're not talking about like we've been cultivating this over time. Like, these are things that we said right after WrestleMania.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I thought that the handshake was excellently done. Brock didn't have to do that, and that just cements Cody as like the next guy, and he earned it. And I thought it was fantastic. But yeah, the next thing that I wanted to talk about was this Slim Jim Battle Royal. I thought that video package leading into it with Macho Man, just thank you, whoever did that. Like, thank you. It just put me right back in the feels. It was perfect. I loved it.
I like that they're putting in a variety of people.
Yeah.
In that role. So like Bianca, LA Knight, who was the other one?
And there's nobody better to put in that role than LA Knight right now.
Agreed. He is just en fuego.
Oh, so en fuego.
Absolutely.
Not as en fuego as a Red Flame, but I digress.
He can't get that kind of chafing. So.
I really honestly think that like they wanted LA Knight to win so badly at Money in the Bank that if he did not win this battle royal, I literally thought they were going to tear that building apart. Which is what I said at WrestleMania 39 this year too.
Right. it was also interesting, and I suspect it's not a coincidence that he is in that Slim Jim marketing. And the is oddly similar to the Macho Man. Oh yeah. So there you go. I am not surprised that he won. I'm glad. I like him. I'm for him. So I'm not complaining. It's just you can tell that there was both a marketing reason and okay, this also makes the fans happy reason. So
Yeah, and then after that, I thought that the next one that I really want to talk about too is this Finn and Seth match. I felt like that, and like I had mentioned earlier, that match, like I wasn't too overly thrilled about it, but it's like the new title that really kind of helps me stay with it, and the fact that Seth is somebody that I've really come around on in the last 9 months or so. But the video package, man, they really sucked me in with that, and that's another great job. I just feel like without the video packages for this show, like I feel like it's not as good, and I felt like it was just like a really really well done job. And they're just building more and more towards a Judgment Day breakup, and I really like how they're building Damian Priest.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
100%.
Damian Priest is like a guy that like I've watched for a long time. I remember whenever he was Punishment Martinez in ROH, and like the dude was like hella awesome, and he is awesome still as Damian Priest. But I want to see that guy get a little bit of a rocket strap. Maybe not win the world title. Maybe that's something that like, well, I guess he can cash it in. He doesn't need to do it on Roman, but if he does it on Seth or whoever is going to be the champion in the future, I'm cool with it. But I don't think he needs to be the guy taking it from Roman.
No, he's not going to take it from Roman. He's going to take it from whoever. I think he's going to be the guy. He's going to be the next guy after Seth.
And that makes sense.
Because here's me and my hashtag tea leaves. A new shirt at Allison.
A new shirt at AllisonRules.com. Yes.
I think the Judgment Day, what's going to happen with them, this is my guess, based on the way they kind of came out last night at Raw. I think he's getting kicked out of Judgment Day.
Okay.
I think the other three are going to stay together, and maybe they add JD McDonough, because that's what they were kind of doing with that JD McDonough thing. Like he was hanging out with Finn.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking he's gonna join, and then JD McDonough is gonna join. Damian Priest comes out. That's how they get him away. There's a built-in feud there, and then after that's done, then comes okay, we're gonna push him towards Seth.
Okay.
Or maybe they do it as a complete surprise, like at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That would be cool if they did, like if somebody cashed in on Seth, like Seth cashed in on Brock. That's like really interesting.
Yeah, and I think that like the Judgment Day, even without Priest, still has legs. And if you bring in,
I think so.
If you bring in McDonough, that adds a new wrinkle. You take Priest out, who I think is ready, at least for a look at the main event scene. Because I mean, how much TV time has over the last year have they gotten? And
oh my gosh, they got so much. They
TV come out 2-3 times at least a Raw. So
yeah,
that's my guess. Is he exits the faction? They add McDonough, and then there's some kind of rivalry in there, and that kind of preps him. That kind of preps.
I feel like that would really
Priest.
hurt the Judgment Day though, because they would lose like their big heater. Like they wouldn't have a big guy anymore. They would be all little guys. Like it would be two.
But I don't necessarily think that the quote unquote threat from them isn't him being big. It's them being a group.
Well, that too, yes. Strength in
so
numbers.
I don't, because they don't. for him being as big as he is, they don't play up how big he is as much
Well,
as they
yeah,
do
you're right.
that it's a group that runs Monday Night Raw, that they stay together and they work as a team. So, not to say that your idea doesn't have merit. That's not. It's just I think that it would still be okay without a heater in that
Mhm.
way, and it would continue to elevate Dom, and it would begin to elevate JD McDonough.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're
So
wrong. I like
yeah,
the I like the idea. I can't even. When did McDonough even get called up? Was it like during the draft?
at the draft,
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
and they started him with Ziggler, and it was wet fart. Um,
Well,
and then they gave him like a month off to reset. So
eh.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, like get the guy into something where he gets some legs and he gets out there into the eye, and then yeah, I don't disagree with you on that.
Yeah. No, it's a good spot. He can be hidden when he needs to be hidden, so he can work on stuff that he needs to work on. I think it's a win-win to put him in there. So
Yeah. But the other thing that I have here about this match is that it felt like it felt like a nice cap to the rivalry.
Mhm.
And they had it like Finn and Seth have gone for a while now. And this felt like a nice little bow on their rivalry for them to move on to do something else.
Yeah, it was time.
Yeah.
So
And yeah, and then we got to talk about the main event, Roman and Jay. This match, this is what has been said by, you know, Mongoose, Andretti. Anytime we come on and we talk about the bloodline after a pay-per-view, it's the same thing. The first 20 minutes of the match does not mean a damn thing. You do not have to watch the first 20 minutes. Now, the last 15 to 20 minutes, you need to it's must see TV because you don't know what's going to happen. And when you do know something is going to happen, it's so well done that you don't even care that you already know the outcome.
mhm.
And
Agreed.
I just think that, you know, a very typical WWE match. The other thing that I thought was really interesting about this, and the tea leaves, a shirt at AllisonRules.com,
Hashtag tea leaves.
hashtag tea leaves, was the Roman spear on Solo, and then
Mhm.
Solo standing over him, like, how could you do this to me? I thought that that was expertly done. Solo he's like a top prospect for the brand right now. Like he is gonna be something for the future. He's awesome. Didn't understand the direction of where he was in the beginning, but he's come a long way in a short amount of time. And that's because he's out there with like the legitimate best in the business. So that definitely
Right.
helps. But
Right.
the dude is like hitting home run after home run. He's doing it all. Um
And
the
it's
other
interesting too because like yeah, they are home runs, but
yeah,
it's not outside of his wheelhouse.
no. And
Huh.
I think that the big catalyst in all of that too is that it's always with Roman. He's never doing
Mhm.
these things without him. And now this could be a chance to see like what can Solo do without Roman? Like is he as good as what we think he is? So,
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out.
they're not going to throw him
I'm
out to the wolves just yet, but they're going to
no.
he's been a big part of the story ever since the build to WrestleMania. And with the whole thing with Cody and how like Cody said like you haven't earned it yet or you haven't done it yet, and then Solo costs Cody at Mania, like that's still a huge part of the story for Cody is that he's never gotten it back on Solo. So Solo is still the catalyst of the story here, and he's been the untouchable in the story, and now like you've kind of seen where like there's cracks and chinks in the armor for, you know, Solo isn't as attached to Roman as what Roman thinks he is.
Yes. And it will be super interesting to see post Bloodline how
Yeah.
all that works out. Because like,
We don't have to worry about that for a long time, I don't think.
well, yeah, they say it's the third inning, so whatever.
I mean, how many outs do you get in an inning? But They gotta.
I don't know with the way the fan base reacted to the finish. They might want to maybe not do quite so much hokey overbookedness. Not that I thought it was overbooked, but a lot of people thought it was, and it was like didn't make sense. And I'm like, I don't know that it doesn't make sense. I don't necessarily agree with that, but there was people online and then fans who are only AEW fans were also up in arms about that. Oh my God, they're not creative anymore. They should have paid it off.
I don't understand how that's not creative. Like we're big AEW marks on here too, but like at the same point, like they're in the middle of the story. There's not like they've been teasing this, and the one point that I really wanted to make here is that Jay already turned on Jimmy, and Jimmy had to convince Jay to come back to the bloodline, and then they broke apart, and then it's just they're never on the same page. They're always, one is always over here, the other one's always over here. They're never on the same page. The only time they were on the same page is whenever they were going into WrestleMania, and it costed them the match because they didn't have Roman there. So
I think what it comes down to is people are looking at something in a vacuum, and that's a natural reaction to things.
Right.
So I get it. They go, oh, well, he was, they're brothers. They were just fine like 20 minutes ago, and now all of a sudden, blah, blah, blah. But like, and I don't always like the excuse of, okay, you need to wait and see what they're going to say. But waiting 5-6 days to the next SmackDown to see how the story continues is not a big ask.
I don't feel like that's a big ass either. That's one thing that's like really frustrating. And I get caught up in this too as a fan. I get caught up in the fact that like I want immediate results, like all of us do. But it's this storyline is so refreshing, and it's such a big hit because you don't have to have immediate reaction or results every single time. And they're starting to get to the point where this has been going for so long now that like, there's going to be some people that are going to start speaking out about it, and it's going to get a little loud. And especially if there's like if they walk into Survivor Series and they do something very similar to what they've done the last 3 pay-per-views, which is like the same thing every time. It's a 20-minute throwaway, and then the last 25 to 30 minutes is all you need to know for the next build to the next pay-per-view. That's just typical WWE. Like, I don't know what more you want. Like that's what you signed up for. That's what you expect to see from WWE. They are telling a story. It's all about the entertainment. It's about the moment. That's what it is. Like, you're not going to get anything different. So people thinking that WWE have like changed or lost it, like they haven't changed. They're just doing what they do best. And
it's not always good.
It's not always good, but this ended up they've caught lightning in a bottle. They got super lucky in the fact that they had Sammy, and not that Sammy was the driving force behind it, but he definitely added like a certain
6 months.
He added 6 months to the storyline that they never had planned in the first place. And then you have somebody in Roman who everyone's wanted to hate and wanted to like, and they wanted him to turn heel. He turns heel, and that you give the people what they want finally, and it's good and it makes sense. And so now you're just toying back and forth. It's always been about Roman and Jay back and forth. It's what the beginning of the storyline was, and it's what it's always been. So it's going to keep going back and forth between those two.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they eventually wrap it up, and
it will be. It's going to be messy. It's not going to be a squeaky clean, coherent storyline that I think that everybody wants it to be.
Well, and they don't seem to want to fold it all at once.
It's going to go over time. It's going to fade out.
It's been a slow tapering of.
It's going to be like
the guys leaving.
It's going to be what all those big factions were. DX. Right. It was Triple H leaving. Now the Army stuck together and they didn't do shit for a long time, and then they fizzled out. Like Evolution. It was Batista. First, they kicked out Randy Orton. They kept it going for another year, and then they built to Batista facing off against Triple H, and then it fizzled out at WrestleMania. Now, like to say that like they weren't successful after that is beyond madness. Like they were all successful. That's like one of the best factions of all time. But like that's the story that Triple H loves to tell. It's a story you're going to get. There's going to be one person that leaves, and it's just gonna fade away. You're gonna forget about
Right.
it, and then at some
And
point they're gonna all come back together like 5 years down the road, and we're all gonna rejoice.
And I think like the nail in the coffin is going to be Roman dropping. Like that's going to be the final thing.
I don't know if it'll be
I
Roman
think-
dropping. I think it'll be Heyman leaving.
Well,
Roman.
I think
like Roman will have to, or Roman leaving Heyman.
I think they're concurrent things. I think he drops. Like they're going to build up if it's going towards Cody, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing and Cody will start to plant seeds. Like he started to plant seeds before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Not that I
they'll
don't think
do like what a Big Show Lesnar deal from those SmackDown in the early 2000s where Heyman does the double turn in the ring. Yeah, that would make sense. Like what he did with Lesnar.
Yeah, I don't think he will do. I don't think they will muddy a finish with Heyman being the reason Roman loses.
Yes.
But I think when Roman loses, Heyman will then leave. And if that's an immediate thing or if it's the next day or whatever. But I also think that when Roman finishes up this story, he's going to go away for a while.
Oh yeah, I mean he's already gone. Rumor on the street is that he got hurt during the match this week too. Yeah. So I mean he doesn't wrestle a lot anyways. He's the attraction. So that's okay.
Right, he is. Yeah. So I'm not mad at that. But I think he goes away. The focus shifts to whoever won, that sort of thing. So I think when Roman loses, that's going to be the bookmark period end of it for the bloodline at like this run of the bloodline. They might come back together later or for, a program later on or bits and pieces of them. But
yeah,
they're not whatever's left by the time they get to WrestleMania, presumably that will be the finish. I think that's a good way to go. And I hope that's what happens, because like you were saying about how they just kind of let them trail off and finish. I don't necessarily know that that's a good way to finish something.
No, I don't think it is either, but that seems to be the way that they go. Like with the Shield, when the Shield broke up, Seth was the first one to go. And then they it's not like Roman and him stayed together. They just kind of drifted apart slowly.
And so here's my point to that. When they talk about the end of the Shield, what is the moment that's always brought up? What is the video you always see?
Yeah, it's whenever the person leaves. The first person leaves when Seth hits the chair.
It's a moment making business. They're gonna lean on that moment.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right.
That moment at presumably WrestleMania when he drops it to presumably Cody, please, dear Lord, do that. I think that's going to be.
Please do it for us because we're going to be there.
I swear to God,
I can't go to back-to-back WrestleManias and not see Cody win the championship.
I said it in the group chat. I will throw a battery. I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Do not test me. I will get the Rayovacs out. Someone is getting hit in the face with a battery. Okay. Bet. Big nose Paul, you and this D cell are about to have a Royal Rumble. Okay.
Yeah, I know, I agree. But and it's funny that we're talking about Paul a lot because my last little notes here on Paul is that if you see that still, and you'll see the still if you're watching this on YouTube, it's the thumbnail for the show. And if you see this on Spotify as well, the thumbnail and the artwork for the show is like whenever Jimmy is standing over Jay, whenever he put him through the table, and like it's Heyman standing on the steps looking past Jimmy at Jay, like that devilish look, like I got you. And then when they pan back into Roman doesn't know what happened. And it's like, how much behind the scenes string pulling is the wise man doing here? It's another thing to think about as well.
True. Very true.
But yeah, that's a bow on SummerSlam. I thought it was a B+ show. I thought it was a pretty good show. didn't have the big moment of like, Brock driving a tractor to the ring and flipping it like he did last year. But as much as I love that moment, but I thought it was a really good SummerSlam nonetheless, even though it felt like it took a little bit long.
Agreed. I thought it was very good. So,
And then, going into Raw last night, the first hour I felt was actually really enjoyable. And I'm hesitant to say that, like, because as we know, I like go through spurts of like really being in on wrestling. Like I get burned out. Like I burned myself out with all the WrestleMania stuff this year. And that's because I literally went to like 7 shows in 3 days. Like I was tired. WrestleMersion was an incredible experience, but I needed to take a break afterwards. But I'm back and I'm better than ever. And I've got a knack for making things better. And you got to face the facts that the first hour of this Raw was good. And this meaning act is going to step on whoever.
oh my god. First of all, you can't steal my gimmick. All right. One of us is the booker of WCW, the A+ brand. And while I do give you full props for pulling that off, folks, he did that off the top of his head.
I like don't have it written down. I just did it.
It was incredible watching that happen in real time, because I was like, he's not going to know the next line. And son of a bitch, if he did not pull it off smoothly, that was professional. For all the times where he is fraudski with John Baker, that was that was podski with John Baker, John. That was
when
not
I'm
fraudski.
hey, listen. Isn't it when I'm good, and when I'm bad, I'm great?
Yes. That was the quote. We used to use that in our shoot job, if you want to use that term.
High school shoot job.
Yeah, we
college shoot job.
Yeah, we had a lot of good times. Farts so dense they hung around for hours.
Yeah, protein.
But yeah, protein farts, bro. But we would use that phrase when we're good, but when we're bad, we're great. Because that's what you do when you're making like $9.25 an hour. You got to keep yourself entertained somehow.
Right.
Because again, when you have all this intellect and you're wasting it.
Here we go.
Counting money and selling lottery tickets. A new shirt at AllisonRules.com, counting money and selling lottery tickets. Or in your case, farting and hiding under a desk.
Yep.
One of the all-time greatest traps I've ever been in.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
If there was a Yu-Gi-Oh meme for someone playing a trap card in real life, it was you and that fart.
Yep, you're welcome. I hope that lady still thinks it was you.
Ah, God. That, of all the times we got complaints, that should have been one.
And we didn't get a complaint off that one.
No, we didn't. Anyway,
bringing it back.
Yeah, we'll bring it back and better than ever here. So I agree. I caught bits and pieces of the first hour. I didn't catch the whole first hour. And I thought what I saw was really good. We talked about where Cody might go next. I guess it would have been before Raw.
Yeah, we were talking on Sunday night into Monday about where's Cody gonna go after this, and we hope that it wasn't Seth. And then literally they come out of the gates with a Cody promo and Seth interrupting, and I was like, damn it. But more tea leaves. Hashtag tea leaves, a shirt at AllisonRules.com. Whenever Cody said that Brock Lesnar acknowledged him, it's just further cementing the fact that the story is not over. And even though that Cody says he hates saying finished story, the story ain't finished. But them squaring off again felt like a kick in the dick to start. That was like, we don't need to see this again. But then, it quickly turned into, hey, here comes the Judgment Day and their 97 minutes of TV time that they get every week. And then Sammy doing the run in and the save. Then it
Yeah.
started to make more sense.
Yeah, and I think the way that, to skip ahead a bit to the main event, the way they're doing it, where it's like this is a loose friendship and a tentative friendship between Cody and Seth, who have, whether they were, being forthright or not in the media, they've both pretty much said they don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
And whether that's real or not, they're certainly playing on it.
Yeah,
trying
I
to
have to think that it's not. I think it's kayfabe. I don't know.
I think, I agree. I think there might be a bit of truth to it, but the majority of it, like, they're both professionals.
Right.
So, and they're both baby faces. So,
which doesn't
I
make
like
much
that
sense for them to
wrinkle.
run it back anymore.
Right, which is why I don't think they're actually doing that.
Right.
I think there's going to be some potential like team ups versus the Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
they
they're
got to
telling
do
that
something.
story.
Well, they got to do something for Survivor Series.
Yeah,
They got
I
to.
agree.
Are they doing war games again? We're just assuming that they're doing war games. That would be actually a really awesome idea because you and I both know that Cody wants to be in a war games. Literally, it's his father's match that he created.
Mhm.
Like, he wasn't in it, while he was at AEW, and he wanted it, and he fought hard to get the war games name and couldn't. So
He never did.
Never did. So why not put him in a war games now? Because the winner of the war games gets a championship match. So
Do they?
well, I mean, I guess
I'll say that's
in
I can see Elimination Chamber.
in
but...
WCW they did, but
okay,
like now in WWE it doesn't really matter. Like, you could just crown him as a war games winner. I guess you could say that could just add to his list of credentials that he's had to go on through this year.
And I would also like to see them, and it would be a compelling story, them being the two pieces around a Survivor Series team versus a SmackDown.
That makes it really cool because, like, whenever you get like two opponents that had such a blood feud and like all of the meaning behind it with the Hell in the Cell and all that, like whenever you bring them together and they're not, when you can clearly tell that they don't like each other in storyline and all that, like it just makes it better whenever they do team up.
It's very much like what Cole and MJF are doing now.
Correct.
So and again, okay, so you get
to segue off
to Survivor
that,
Series.
Right. Segue off that real quick. If you are listening to this, please go to YouTube and check out why MJF and Adam Cole should headline All In as a tag team. Go in and check that out. It's on YouTube. Mongoose gave a good breakdown. Check it out.
Yes, for sure. So you could do a thing where they have a loose, they start to build trust with each other. They get to Survivor Series. Something happens that's not really anybody's fault, but they lose. And then that's how you transition back into a feud that gets to like the Royal Rumble or up to the build to Royal Rumble. And then Cody's in the Royal Rumble and blah, blah, blah. Right. So maybe that's how they go. They build to Survivor Series and then they have a thing with Seth. It's hard though, because, and I said this to you, there's no payoff that's good for everybody.
Yeah.
On that. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe the only way they can pay that off, that it doesn't suck for, okay, it still would kind of suck, but they're in the middle of a match for the world title at the end of the feud, and that's when Priest cashes in.
Well, because I thought that at one point they were going to do a triple threat, and that's what I didn't want to see, because I don't want to have Cody in a position where I don't want him even near another title. He doesn't need to be near another title. He needs to be at an arm's length away from Roman.
I agree, but I'm saying if they do go down the Seth rabbit hole, that's a way to get out of it. I don't agree that it's the best way to go. I would rather see him go against someone else until you do the build to WrestleMania, if that is the case. So I don't necessarily want to see that, but if that is potentially where they go down, but like, I honestly think if they're going to do something with the Judgment Day and Cody, I want to see it be him and Finn.
Yeah, and that could be even what they do, because that could be a good feud, and with them circling the waters, because I know that like earlier, like right after WrestleMania, we talked about like that it was going to be Cody with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Bloodline, and they need a fourth, or they need whatever to fill out the team to get the baby faces, and that's how they would. That's clearly not what's going to happen. The Bloodline has, you know, broken up into shattered into pieces, so like they can't be a part of they can't be a part of a War Games. But who can be a part of a War Games that's a big enough faction that could add who can quickly add two more heels to make a full roster would be a Judgment Day. They wouldn't even need to add two, because they'd have JD McDonough. They would have to add like one more who would make sense, who could be Nakamura.
That would be good too. Yeah.
And then you bring
have
in
it a heels and baby faces Survivor Series, or heels and faces.
And then you have a heels faces
match.
War Games. Correct.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
That'd be interesting. There is some stuff that can go down this rabbit hole, and it would be good.
Yeah.
So I like that. We should probably move past. We'll spend the entire night talking about Cody if we do.
Yeah, we probably bored enough people with Cody talk.
Yeah. So the next kind of topic here, and we had a little bit of synergy about this.
Absolutely.
In general, but we'll start it out with the IC title contender match, and then sort of the men's mid card and how it's different under Triple H.
Yeah.
So we both liked very much that Gable is the one who's going next against Gunther. He's an Olympian. They have been building the Alpha Academy a little bit, and Gable. So again, he's a credentialed Olympian. They're giving him some TV time. They're giving him a bit of a push, putting him in there with Gunther, although he's gonna probably lose.
And it's okay.
And that's fine. But it's still a good series. Like, it's a good rivalry. It's a good series of matches.
It's not
putting him in with Mustafa Ali.
Right. It's a good mixture of talent. Like, Chad Gable is he's criminally underrated and criminally underutilized on the roster. Like, the dude is one of the best workers in the business and doesn't get enough time. He's not able, in the words of beautiful Bobby Winters, he doesn't get a chance to put time in. He's got to put the time in if he wants to get over. So, listen, Chad Gable and Gunther is going to be a banger of a match. I love Chad Gable. I've wanted Chad Gable to be in this position for a long time, and I'm glad that he's going to get a chance to like showcase a little bit here. I like the the David versus Goliath type matchup with Gunther and Gable. And to get to the main point here is that I love that they didn't make him. They're not presenting him as Shorty G. He's not a geek anymore. He's legitimately put over as a legitimate contender for a title, and that they didn't just throw him to the wayside. Like, even though they made a big deal that he was in his home state and that this was going to be a big deal, they made a really big deal about that. And it was refreshing for the fact that they didn't just job him out and just beat the tar out of him and have him lose the match. Like, it was refreshing, the fact that they did that. And I really, really, really enjoyed it. And I think that's the clear and cut difference that, like, it's a clear and cut difference whenever Triple H is running the booking versus when, like, Vince had it. Because Vince would have killed that guy dead, would have just buried him in the dirt. He would have been beat to shreds on the ramp, and we would have never heard about him again. He would have been Shorty G. He would have sucked. No one would have cared anymore. But the fact that, like, he's put in a prime position, he wasn't geeked out. He was, like, praised a little bit, like, on the commentary. Like, they told you beforehand, this is his home state. Like, he's going to win it, and he's going to go on to face Gunther. Like, they gave it to him, and that was refreshing. And that's what I like that they're doing with the mid card. Like, we talked a little bit about Ricochet. It's refreshing.
Jonah, to a lesser degree, Jonah, Nakamura.
Yes,
now they're elevating right, and Nakamura was a huge star.
Yes,
so
Nakamura, huge star.
it's nice to see that they're yes, you can leave those guys in the mid card and they can be entertaining and have good matches in the mid card to fill out a show, and they can plug and play in different stories and be there for mid card titles and that sort of thing. But they have to be credible at some point, or no one gives a crap.
Yes. And that's what Vince does. He just
guys,
beats them into the ground where they don't matter anymore.
Exactly. So like you see a guy like Ricochet, who, okay, he's not gonna sit there and throw a hammerlock. You know what I mean? Like he's not gonna stretch Logan Paul. But they clearly trust the guy.
So I'm gonna get in there and stretch the internet bastard. I'm gonna get in there and stretch him.
That's what your booking meetings sound like. But John's down again, folks.
Yeah.
But the bigger point here is like they put that guy in a prime spot with Ricochet. And that means there's a certain level of trust that Ricochet can have a good match with him, get the guy over, and that they trust him.
Yes.
And he's a hell of a
big deal.
worker. And they gave him time, and this was what I thought was cool. Was they gave him time on the mic.
Yes.
And they've done the same thing. They've given promo time to the Alpha Academy. They're giving decent stories. And it's it's a little hope. It's WWE storytelling, whatever.
But I'm okay with it though, because I love Otis.
Right. So it works, right? So they're giving them the platform to get over, and it's not just them, okay, we're gonna put this guy out there. He maybe have a good match and then whatever.
Right.
He's still gonna lose to the big baddie.
Mm-hmm.
You have to fill that out.
It's not time for Gunther to lose that belt either. Not time.
No, it's definitely not.
He's gonna break Honky Tonk Man's record, and there's gonna have to be a big legitimate star like Jonah or somebody like that to actually dethrone him.
Right. He's gonna make somebody with that.
Yeah.
But I think like they're doing this with the mid card, and it's really nice to see. And I wish everyone would do
the mid card and the IC title belt. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm really sorry.
No, go ahead.
The mid card and the IC title belt is the workers' belt. That's what has been the precedent has been set for years. And I'm going to show for a little bit because I just finished reading Bret Hart's book today, and like he talked about a lot in that book about being the Intercontinental Champion and what that meant. And we all know there's a lot you can say about Bret, but like Bret. the epilogue of that is so much piss and vinegar through that. I
was gonna say, how bitter was that book? Like,
okay, so it was really good. It ended on a really bad note, but in the afterward,
just like his career.
Yeah. In the afterward, like he absolutely shit all over. He said like he'll never forgive Shawn and Hunter for ruining the business that he loved and took so seriously.
Oh my god.
That was like the last sentence. But anyways, it like that, like as much as we rag on Bret for like just having bad takes and stuff like that now, like the dude like represented the Intercontinental Championship the way that it should have been. He took it very seriously. It was a prestigious prize, and that's what the Intercontinental Championship feels like now. And it's going to be a worker man's belt. Like it's got to be the best of the best. It's got to be the biggest up and comer that's going to be the next in line. So I'm glad that like that's where we're resetting. And like this is a thing that Andretti beats into the ground all the time when he's on here. They're resetting these titles. Like they're resetting the precedent. They're putting new spins on them because they're at the point now where all of that stuff that they relied on for all those years, like a Honky Tonk Man, like a Bruno Sammartino, no one knows who the fuck those people are anymore. You got to add new fresh faces. You got to put somebody like Bianca Belair as the women's champion. You got to do Roman with the over 1,000-day reign. You got to do Gunther beating Honky Tonk Man. Like kids don't give a shit who the Honky Tonk Man is no more. He's cool. Right. He's cocky. He's old. Okay. Like no one cares.
They didn't care when he had the belt too.
Yeah.
So legitimate question. I'm not trying to bury anybody. I have an honest question because I don't watch SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the US belt? I know Theory still has it.
Well, that's a great question. I don't know.
Are they doing the same stuff? Like, are they trying to do the same thing they're doing? and it's just not because
You
like
know,
I don't know there was a reason he was in the Slim Jim Royal Rumble or Battle Royal, and the guy didn't win,
it
and he's
feels
a mid card title.
he's ran the well. I think the wells ran dry on Austin Theory. I think that that John Cena match did exactly what John Cena said it was going to do. And then John Cena had no business winning that match. I think that Austin Theory should have done what Andretti booked, and that's he should have come down and beat the absolute shit out of John Cena to like not even let Cena get in the ring, just beat the tar out of him, make it a no contest, and moved on. Because John Cena proved to us, not only through his promo, that Austin Theory wasn't ready and is just straight up job geek guy, but now they manifested it. It's almost what it's like. It feels like it's not going anywhere. And as big
So
as
Armchair-
that title meant so much because of the fact that the Elimination Chamber match was for the United States Championship. That was so awesome. That match was awesome.
Yeah, they put good people in it. It meant something.
Should be mentioned. I know that we did not mention it in the Podski Summer Classic when we were going over the mid-year awards, but that Elimination Chamber match was awesome, and it should be mentioned as an honorable mention as match of the year. And it's not. It didn't make the cut, but that's just to prove like how good wrestling has been this year. But like,
yeah,
that was awesome. And what they did at WrestleMania did not do the dude any favors. It hurt him, and that's the problem. It's the John Cena effect.
So here's, and now they have him on Raw with the Miz and whatever, and this kind of segues into the next thing we wanted to talk about. But how can you not switch it to him?
I don't think LA Knight needs a belt, and I don't think he needs a belt, and I don't think he's ready for a belt yet. He needs to be legitimized because he's got a cult. So he has a cult following. He has he had a cult following that's grown immensely in the last month and a half. And that's not something you just strap a belt on to make it a little bit more. Like, they need to continue to let him create that on his own to the point where it doesn't matter if he has a belt or not, the fans are going to be behind him, because that's what everybody wants right now, is for him to just win, which he's going to win, but he doesn't have to win the belt. He doesn't have to win a belt at all. He doesn't need a belt because he's that good of a talker. So like, let him chase.
So I wasn't taking this from the perspective of he needs the belt. I was taking it from the perspective of the belt could use him.
I guess it goes back to what Triple H always says: the champion makes the belt. So I guess, yeah, and in a weird,
he's such a hot property.
He's a hot property.
They need, like, if they're gonna do, I like that they were doing it. I like that they were building it. Theories run out of steam, and I think that if you put it on him, it's one of those cases where the man makes the belt, it raises the profile of it, you let him have it for a while and continue to build and to grow and to groom, put him in those matches where he's working his ass off and he's building himself and the title. I think it could be done.
While you've sold me on it, I don't think they want to do that to Austin Theory, because Austin Theory is their dude. They don't want to push him off to the side for LA Knight, because they're probably
pushing off ratings because the guy is not that good.
I know. I'm not saying you're wrong, but they've proven time and time again that they want Austin Theory somewhere near the title picture.
And let me rephrase that statement, because that was a little harsh. I think Austin Theory has all the capability in the world. I think right now he's just in a dry spot. Like, he doesn't have a gimmick that's over. And not that everybody needs a gimmick, but like, if you watch that Cody Rhodes doc, shout out to that Cody Rhodes doc.
Yes.
He's in that undashing Cody Rhodes phase.
Yeah. He's on the way down where he's going to turn into Stardust if he doesn't watch out.
Right. And they need to stop that because the guy has a lot of talent. He can talk, he can work. They like him, but like even if you look at the career arc of Drew McIntyre, he also had a down spot where he left.
Yeah.
And it was because they were not because I don't think they always use like, it's not gimmicks in the sense of like the Attitude Era and the pre-Attitude Era, New Gen era, but where your gimmick is you and your personality and what you bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a lot, like he was just a snarky bad guy.
Yeah.
But like if you look at what's successful as a heel, that's not always the case. Like he's not so over the top and good at it that he's Ric Flair.
So,
but he's not a bad performer either. But like he needs to find himself. And I've never thought, and this was in the John Cena promo, that no one believes him. No one believes in this iteration of Austin Theory.
Yeah. And I think that if he would go away, because he's been pushed down our throat so much, that if he would just disappear, refresh the gimmick a little bit, it could work. But I don't think that the booking has quite helped him either. In the booking,
no, I agree.
That the booking with John Cena was pretty stupid looking at it now, but at the same rate, like they haven't done anything on the back end of the John Cena to make him feel credible enough to where you don't think that he's not a geek and not believable. They haven't made him feel believable.
Agreed. And that's why I think, okay, maybe it's time.
It's twofold. It's what's sad is that it's twofold for him. He's not making you believe that he's believable, and the booking behind it shows that they don't even believe it. But yet the dude still got a title. So what are we doing?
And that's why I'm saying, okay, let's move it off of him, put it on a guy who is on the come up, and he can elevate that title while he elevates himself. Like the dude's 40 years old.
Yeah.
And the gimmick that he is himself turned up to 11.
Right.
So it's not like he's finding this nascent thing within him. Like this is him, and it was him before he came to WWE. It's working in WWE. Let's continue to elevate that. Like, okay, now he's marketing for Slim Jim. Okay, when he goes out and does Slim Jim advertisements and he's holding, one of the, shiny gold emblems of WWE, like there's a value to that as well. And he can continue to elevate the belt in the same way that Gunther has elevated the belt.
Mm-hmm.
If you book him that way, and I think he is the kind of character, and the way in which he is popular, I think fits continued success. So if you put that belt with him, I think it would be good. But if they're going to do something else to continue to build him, maybe he's the next guy for Seth down the line, or maybe he's who they eventually drop to. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's
interesting.
There's not good things to go along with Austin Theory right now. It's pretty much shit out of luck.
Yeah. And that sucks because he's
right. Yeah. But then to wrap up Raw, we had the turn at the end with Nakamura turning on Seth. I think that is another very interesting matchup that they are putting together. I really like that. It's variation of styles, and I think that they can get a really good run out of this. And I think that it was very smart. I really like it. I'm very, very, very excited for Nakamura and Seth. Now, like, I know that like if Allison's gonna sit down and watch it with me, she hates Nakamura. She thinks she doesn't understand why he does the movement. She's like, that doesn't make any sense. But
yeah.
At any rate, Nakamura is still like, one of the best things that New Japan has, graduated in a long time. So I really like this matchup, and I'm here for it. So, I'll give you your money. Take it.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting the way that they have booked the new heavyweight belt and the way that they marketed it before that it's a working man's title. These are going to be work rate matches. They're not going to be the sports entertainment stuff that is going to be associated with the undisputed title with Roman, etc. That's how they've put it out there to begin with. So the first setup was that title tournament, and it was all really good workers.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first out of the gate, Seth wins, and the first rivalry out of the gate is two of the best workers they have.
Right.
And they told a good story, and there's nothing wrong with the story. But their in-ring product was very good, and then they continued that now with another story into another set of two good workers working with each other.
Right.
Rollins isn't putting over somebody who's has less than capabilities, but is still a star in another way. It's and there's a lot of people who like that style of wrestling. Like, that's the AEW style of wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That the people clearly wanted an alternative.
The people.
Yeah, the people. They did it for the people. So, like, that's very much I think the way they've been doing that is the response to the AEW people and trying to bring some of those people in. And here's our work rate, guys. And this is the WWE version of what you like on the other channel.
Right.
And I think it works. I enjoy it too.
Yeah.
So not that I don't enjoy AEW and what's going on. I need to catch up on Collision. If I'm being honest, I'm a week or two
I thought the
behind.
Collision ending was pretty good this week.
Yeah, I'm like 2 weeks behind again.
Yeah,
I'm
only
up on
selecting,
Dynamite, but
right. I'm only selecting to watch a few things just because I don't want to get burned out on AEW before they make
well,
me mad.
and I was for a little bit there, and I still am, just because I have a lot of stuff going on. In the as Michael Hayes would say, in the shoot world. That I have so much going on that it's hard to fit in all of the wrestling that I want to watch.
Right.
So
it's a lot. There's a lot of hours of programming out there.
There is so much. And it's not that I don't want to, I just don't have the hours in the day.
Right.
So it's nice to have that little bit of work rate.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so. I totally agree that the fact that like that's like to put a style of wrestling that is on the opposite channel, that like clearly they're calling them developmental and that they're a lesser promotion, but like at the same rate, like you're trying to cater to those fans with this feud, and I don't fault them for that. It's not a terrible idea. It's a great idea. Like, you should absolutely try to maximize as many eyes on the audience as possible. Like, and I totally get it. I like it, and I'm totally here for it.
Yep, agreed. I think that'll be a very good program. So yeah, I'm here for it. It'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to seeing where they go next.
Absolutely. So we got a lot of figures to look at here. So we're here at the main event. One of the things we wanted to talk about today was the San Diego Comic-Con, and if you haven't been watching, or if you're not familiar with what San Diego Comic-Con is, like they do figure reveals every year, and it's just super awesome that you get, this is like what you're gonna get. So I really thought there was a lot of good stuff. We're gonna kick it off with the WWE stuff. So but yeah, we'll kick it off here with some of the what I'm really I don't know if I'm going to be getting these. And where are you at on the WWE retro line?
I want to love these. I really do. Like, and I grew up watching Attitude Era, but I don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I haven't gone back and watched enough of it yet. Like, as I've been slowly piecing through, I've been piecing through the New Gen era, because I did not watch that. So I'm starting there and trying to transition. You know, I'm into 95. So I'm coming up on the Attitude Era So, and I like the form factor. I have some of the original Hasbros, and I would like to have more of them now that I have a
Mhm.
little bit more space. I can get some more of them for those, but they just don't hit my wheelhouse yet. But I've honestly thought about collecting them just because I know by the time I get to a lot of this stuff, I'm gonna want it. Like the orange card set that they brought out
Yeah,
this
really
last
awesome.
time. And then I'm like, yeah, I want them.
Yeah, but I
So
don't have a place for them.
yeah, and so now I have a second bookcase that has like, I don't know, maybe 9-10 inches of shelf space, which is perfect for like the retros, the Hasbros, and the Galoobs.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all the American release Galoobs, and I have some of the Hasbros that I've wanted. But so I'm interested in them. It's just I'm not hungry for them.
Yeah.
So it will be interesting to see as I continue going back and watching old wrestling how I sort of come around to this stuff.
Yeah.
So
So
we'll
what
see.
so what you're seeing on the screen right now is the ringside exclusive 4-pack. It is the DX 4-pack. That is the Mattel Retro line. These are like the Hasbro style figures. And I have all of these in, elite form. So it's one of those things where I was like, I already got these in elites. Do I need them as retros? Probably not, but it's still a really cool idea. They did the NWO last year. This year they're doing DX. So they're gonna do the hits. And I'm
Mhm.
totally for it. I really like it. So what would even be cool is if like they did like a 4-pack that would be Edge and Christian and the Dudleys.
Mm-hmm.
But we all know what's going on with Christian. We don't know if he's has a deal or not. But yeah, no, I really
Yeah,
like
and the
these. Like,
Dudleys and what Devon doesn't have a deal or not
don't say
Devon.
yeah, don't talk about Bubba Ray. We don't like him here on the Podski.
Bubba.
The Bubba.
The buh.
But yeah, I thought that these figures are awesome. I just I just don't really have a place for them.
Yep, agreed.
But next, we're gonna hop right in with the basics. So actually, we're not hopping in with the basics. They're out of order. That's great. So we're gonna hop in with the packs. So the first big pack that was brought up was the WrestleMania 10 pack, which is the ladder match with Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon. You got the 2 title belts. Like now, this Shawn was already made before, and so there's nothing you can really do about that. But it's updated with the double jointed pinless elbows. The same with Razor. Like he was a basic before. Now you're getting him in elite form. You're getting a big ladder. I already have the Ultimate Edition that came out last year of Razor. That was an honorable mention for Figure of the Year. So I don't really need this set. Now the box that comes with it is absolutely incredible. Love that. It is next level. Absolutely love what they did with the box. So congrats to Mattel on doing that. Like you did a hell of a job. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and I thought I kicked the tires on this one. Because I did go back and watch that match, and I'm through this part of it, and it was heck of a match, heck of a rivalry. I just don't know that I have a place in my collection for this because I don't have the space to display it the way I would want to.
Yeah.
So, but
That's
great pack, especially for people who don't have it like me. Yeah, just unfortunately a pass, but
yeah, that's what sucks is that this would absolutely be a pack that I would absolutely want, and it sucks that like we can't. Something that you don't really need, but it's like a really cool piece. If you don't have these guys, or if you missed them the first time around, you got a chance to get them. So
yeah, and I have a Shawn from that era, and I have a Razor from that era already in the Defining Moments one, and that's enough for me. So
yeah, because I have
much as I like it, but
I have so many Shawns. I have the Shawn from the flashbacks one or no, I have the ringside exclusive one. This is a remake of the flashbacks line, but I have the ringside exclusive one, and that one is just awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
But another pack that was brought up was the Faces of Foley. And this has been one that's been talked about for a lot of years, is can we get a 3 Faces of Foley pack? And we're finally getting it. This is a ringside exclusive. I am so for this pack, but I don't need it.
Yeah, same. I like Mick Foley.
Love you,
I
Mick.
like the characters. Yeah, for real. Like the characters individually for what they did. It's just not something I'm gonna have in my collection.
Yeah.
I don't have an emotional tie to any of them individually. And again, maybe it's just because I haven't gone back and watched the Attitude Era again.
The Cactus Jack one's pretty sick. And so is the dude love is awesome. Yeah. And that's what sucks. But because like I just got the Mankind, and now I got like the Mick Foley Mankind from the Defining Moments line that just came out last year, like or this year even. That's the one I just got. It's like I don't need 4 more. I don't need to have 4 Foleys. I love Mick Foley. I love him to death. So thank you, Mick Foley, for pushing this as hard as you did. I'd love, like, if I had a place where I could keep this on card and have you sign all 3 as through the 3 Faces of Foley, I'd absolutely do it. But I don't know where I'd put it. That's what sucks.
Premium item. No, and like I remember this version of Mankind scaring the bejesus out of me as a child. Because it wasn't like fun Mankind.
No.
This was the scary, creepy, holy hell, what is this? Yeah.
The demented, rat loving, boiler room brawling. Yes. Mankind. Like
and with adult eyes, like the commitment to these characters that he made and the range that he has and the work that he put in, even though he was a bigger guy.
Yeah.
Like he's an incredible performer and rightfully so gets his flowers the way he does. It's just, I look at that, like I'm looking at on the screen and I look at the photo and I still get the from that man. So, and again, looking at it as an adult, like that's a hell of an impact. He a 32-year-old guy remembers back to, being 5, 6 and being scared to be Jesus of, whatever the amalgamation of personalities this character was.
Right.
So, but I don't need the heebie-jeebies every time I look at my collection. So,
yeah. Hats off to Mattel and Ringside for putting this together. I love it. I think it's a fantastic idea. I'm just really sorry, Mick, but I don't have a place for it in the collection. But yeah, moving on to another pack. So we got a couple more packs we're gonna look at here. We got the Hogan 3-pack. Holy hell, did we get a shit ton of Hulk Hogans? If you don't have a Hulk Hogan, you can get a Hulk Hogan within the next year, like very easily. But yeah, this was a throwback to a Jack specific 3-pack that they had back in the day. You got your ever so classic Hogan, Hulkamania, then you got NWO Hogan, and then you got Hulk Still Rules from the Ruthless Aggression era. I really, really like this NWO Hogan. I wish it was an Ultimate, and I know that they're gonna eventually bring that back. They're eventually gonna do a remake of that Ultimate Edition Hogan. Like they've already, it's gonna be a greatest hits, and that's when I'm gonna swoop in and get that one.
Yeah, I have that one.
I missed it on the first time around, and I'm really mad that I did that. Like if they fix the tan and they get the butterfly joints, Brutta sliding in there for one. Yeah, I have the Storm Collectibles one, but I'd love to have an Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, I have the Ultimate Edition one. It's good. I have no problems with it. It sits with my Kevin Nash and my Scott Hall and Macho Man. It's great. I have no problems with it. I don't feel the need to upgrade, at least at this point. Because I don't have a super like sentimental, emotional thing to Hogan.
I only do for NWO and his Ruthless Aggression run. Like I don't have the super tied to him from Hulkamania.
Yeah, I have it. I have the NWO run because he was the big baddie for Sting.
Right.
So I have it in that regard, and that's why I have the one that I have, and that's good enough for me. And we'll talk about it in a bit, but that Easy E Ultimate, love that. I need that for the NWO collection to face off against Sting.
Oh yeah, we'll get
We're
to we'll
good.
get to it easy sooner or later. But yeah,
Till we get to Ice Train, and then I need an Ice Train, NWO Ice Train. But yeah.
The one thing I will say that is really cool about this set is that Hogan, the Hulkamania Hogan, like he's got the bandana in the mouth. Like that's a really cool thing that like you're not going to get anywhere else. But the other ones are just straight repaints.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah, it'll sell 1 million units, and that's great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And this is a Target exclusive, so that's the only place you can get that as well. And then we have the one last little final pack, and that is the 4-pack from the Then Now Forever pack. And that, I don't know, it's one of those where it's like, do you really need this? Probably not. But
is that the one that got recalled?
Yeah, it's the one that got recalled.
Yeah.
And
they had a packaging issue with it.
Right. They had the wrong like Then Now Forever or something like that on there. And that's totally fine. Like you don't need to have that in your collection. That's totally, it's a weird pack because it's got Hogan, it's got Rocky Maivia, it's got Stone Cold, and then it's got Becky Lynch. So it's like an odd pairing of figures. Not a need for me, but like if you were able to get this and you got the first run and not the second run, like you kind of hit a gold mine. So good for you.
Yeah.
But moving on into a line that that I'm really in on and that I've put over a lot here when we talk about figures, the Coliseum collection. The Coliseum collection is huge for me. I absolutely love the Coliseum collection, and they announced a couple of figures. We had one big announcement, and that was the one that's going to be coming later down the line, and that is the Heart Foundation that you can see here on the screen right now. The Heart Foundation, big. There's nothing more you can say about it. They're hand painted prototypes here, so have to think that maybe that this is early stages. I just saw a video earlier in the day that said maybe that they had the Steiners plan for this, and because of what Rick did, they got canned, so they had to implement a tag team right away, and they put the Heart Foundation in there. And I'm totally cool with that because I really wanted a Brett and an Anvil. So these are ones that I don't, necessarily, I don't unbox them. They're going to stay mint on card. I'm never going to touch them, but like still cool to have. And then the other set that we already know that's coming out, that's in the background there, is Roddy Piper and George the Animal Steel. But we'll put a better
need that George the Animal Steel real bad.
Yeah, and we'll put the picture up of Anvil and the better pick of Anvil and Roddy up here right now. But this is an awesome line. These are throwbacks to the LJNs, so they fit perfectly in the line. Totally understand it, love it. So, but yeah, absolutely ones that if you're in the Coliseum collection, like they're must gets. Like you're already in the ground. If you already have the first two, you're already on the ground floor. There's no reason to stop getting them now. They're only going to do 2 a year. Pretty easy to collect.
Yep.
And if you hold out for 5 more years, you're going to have a hell of a collection. Very valuable collection too. But the one that I'm really excited about is what's popping up here right now is this Monday Night Wars. Monday Night Wars line. I know you and I are both very excited for this line. So what are you excited for out of this line?
Specifically the top 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah,
I need that Easy E, and so you have to buy the ring to get Bischoff, but that's fine. I want the ring anyway. I want to figure out how to display my Sting and NWO to give that era like an extra special boost. So I'm all about that. Gonna buy the ring. Then I'll get the Easy E with it. So that's great. And then I've wanted a Brett, but I didn't know what Brett, because I really, after watching most of the new gen at this point. I can appreciate Bret Hart, the worker. I don't think much of his promos, if I'm being honest. I think Owen Hart's probably a better promo.
How dare you?
I'm sorry. I just don't find his personality that interesting.
No, it's okay.
And that's fine. But he's a hell of a, like, you watch him work and it's incredible.
After watching
so-
the new gen and like having that figure of that SummerSlam, the Ultimate Edition that they had beforehand, like having that one, it was like, damn, like dude, this one is awesome.
Yeah.
And
so
that,
I like that Bret, and I think that's the one I'm gonna get.
And this one is gonna be this is Survivor Series 97. Like this is the screw job one. Like if you were looking for a Bret and you don't have a Bret, just hold off until next year. I believe this is coming out in the Q1 or Q2 of 2024. Like, just hold off and get this one. Like, this is going to be the best one you could possibly get.
Yeah,
And
I like the color scheme the best. That has been the differentiator for me.
Oh yeah.
I like his looks. I like when they have more black than pink.
Mm-hmm.
Not that the pink isn't toyetic, but I just prefer the black looks over the pink looks. And this is like just like they have it on the screen with the leather jacket. And I mean, his face looks like he's high, but
yeah, I don't
whatever.
understand how they can't do his damn face right. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, how can they not get the face right?
I don't know. It's probably something to do with the CTE that he's got. Goddamn Goldberg.
He didn't have CTE. He had a stroke.
Yeah, whatever.
Was a big head injury, so it might be CTE.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, best wishes to Bret Hart.
Yeah. R.I.P. your cerebellum. So anyway, that's the Bret that I want. I'm gonna get that Bret. And keep the sunglasses on it so I don't have to look at that face. And we're gonna be good. And then I didn't know that I needed this Roddy Piper until I saw this Roddy Piper.
Yes, we both said this at the same
pop
time.
To the moon.
Didn't know we needed it. Now we need it.
Yep.
That. Now I know that the kilt that you see there, and we're talking about Roddy Piper, who's on the top right of the screen right now. They said that they didn't have the correct kilt on hand, so they were just using a kilt that they had on hand. So like that's not going to be the kilt that you're going to get with that. It's going to be more correct towards what he was wearing in 97 and 98 or 97 whenever he was there. Like, I didn't know I needed this one until I saw it, and I was like, damn, I need
that reality check shirt. I need that in my office at work. And then when I put somebody in line, I'm just going to point right to the figure.
Yeah, that figure is awesome. I cannot wait to get that. I can't wait to get my hands on that Piper.
Yeah.
And then we have some interesting ones here on the bottom. So we got an Undertaker, this is a Ministry Taker on the bottom left. And then in that all gray, that all gray figure, that's a fake Diesel. How awesome is that?
Popped me to the freaking moon too.
I can't believe they're making a fake Diesel.
I know, it's so good. And again, like, I love that figure. I don't know that I need that figure, and I'm probably not going to buy that figure unless I find it. But the fact that they actually went and did it
is amazing. I love it.
I loved it. I loved it so much. It shot me straight to the moon.
Seriously, hats off, Mattel. You done did it. I mean, I don't have a place for it in the collection, but I love it. I love it. It's so obscure. That's what I want. Like stuff like that. Yeah. Like, love it. And then
I actually do need, now that I've watched enough New Gen, I do need a Diesel.
Oh, buddy, you might need to get that New Gen Arena Diesel, because that one.
Don't remind me,
dude. That one is still by far the best Kevin Nash figure that there is. Until they make an NWO Ultimate one, like that's the one.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to think about that price.
I don't want to rub that in.
Yeah, bite me.
But they're in the center on the bottom row. We have the NWO, so we have a very, very early Hulk Hogan right after he turned. Then you have Scott Hall in the Canadian tuxedo. Absolutely love that. They did fix the boots from the early photos. It was just him in the pants. Like, he didn't wear the pants like that early. Like, he tucked the pants in the boots. And then we have like a really obscure Kevin Nash.
It's the
like,
first night he's there.
yeah, so like these don't all fit together as if they were like they're not like this. Like if you turned on an episode of Nitro, not every single piece of this attire would be correct. Like there are pieces,
Right, you wouldn't
like,
see them all at the same time, but they're to
they're
me, like I look at
debuts.
them, they're
They're all
debuts
they're
of
all
each
Nitro
of them.
debuts. Yeah, so like
Yes.
that is Scott Hall's debut on Nitro. It's Kevin Nash's debut on Nitro, and then it's Hollywood
Hollywood Hogan.
Hogan's debut on Nitro. So like very well done. I love that. Like I know it's not a 3-pack, it's a part of like the new packaging that we'll get to when we talk about Elite 05, but these will all the Monday Night Wars line is going to be Walmart exclusive. And like listen, there's a lot of issues with Walmart distribution, so like I have a feeling these are going to be few and far and hard to find. So Walmart pre-orders, they will let you down at every chance you get. That's what sucks about the Ultimate Roddy and the Ultimate Brett, is that I'm probably gonna have to get them secondhand. If you
Yeah, that's
because
gonna
like
suck.
yeah, it's gonna suck a fat one.
Yeah.
Then
Definitely gonna suck.
the other obscure one too on the bottom right here is this Rey Mysterio, an unmasked Rey Mysterio figure. Who would have thought we'd
With
get an
devil
unmasked
horns.
with the devil horns? Like this is late. This is late WCW. Like this is the shit WCW. I
Yeah.
can't believe that they actually are going to make this figure. I'm legitimately
know.
surprised. I can't believe that Ray didn't nix it.
It's great though. Like
It is.
I'm not gonna get it.
Right.
I'm not gonna get it because I don't need it. But again, it's one of those things where they're going out on a limb, not for a goof or not on a lark, because it's a piece of wrestling history. He's a legitimate legend,
Mhm.
and it's fun, and I like when they do fun stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like that
So.
they're like, yeah, I like the effort that they're putting in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had 2 more Ultimates that were announced. We have an Ultimate Eddie Guerrero with the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. And this looks like it's probably going to be somewhere the same attire that he probably wore when he faced Rey Mysterio at the Halloween Havoc. At least that's what I would hope for.
Yeah, I want to see the deco on this before I make a decision on it, because I would like an Eddie, but I've watched more of this Eddie than I did like Ruthless Aggression era Eddie. So if it's like the black tights with the red and gold like sort of like abstract flame looks on him, I might be in real heavy on that one.
So for me, I don't know if I need this because I have a WWEshop.com exclusive Eddie where it's the LWO one, but he's in that black and gold pant, and that's a classic Superstars. Like that is such a hard one to find that I don't know that I need this.
Yeah,
which sucks. And then back to the next one here is another Mankind Ultimate. Like we literally just got a Defining Moments Elite, and it's like, damn, I just bought that Elite. Like, why are they doing this to me now with an Ultimate? Like, this sucks. Like,
yeah,
I wish that I would have just you never know, and then you end up getting it and you're like, damn, I should have waited. But like, it sucks. It's like I don't need now. It's like another Foley where I'm like, damn, I don't need it, and you feel bad because you love Foley, but I don't know.
I might kick the tires on it when I see what it looks like, and we'll go.
Right.
Maybe
but yeah,
pile. It's on my maybe pile.
It's on the maybe pile. But moving on to more Ultimates, because the Ultimates, the line is growing ever so quickly. We had this Bianca Belair and the Lashley, but the one I want to talk about is the Kurt Angle. Where are you at on this Kurt Angle?
I want this Kurt Angle. I admit that there are flaws to this Kurt Angle, especially related to that singlet. But otherwise, I wanted the entrance greats Kurt Angle.
That's one I have.
And this one is like that, but better.
See,
so
they even gave him the crying face.
Yeah, it's so goofy. And like, I probably wouldn't even show it with the crying face. I might.
No.
But the fact that I have it, the fact that there are the gold medals with it, I might not do the singlet. I might just do like the painted underneath torso. but I wanted an angle from this era. I've been working on a collection quietly of Conrad Thompson and his podcast hosts.
Oh, you sneaky little devil.
So I know. So this will go great with that. So I'm for it.
That would actually go great.
That one.
My worry is that the singlet, because I am just so jaded from the Jax days. Like when they did soft goods singlets like this, they sucked. They looked like baggy pieces of shit. And I had one that had the baggy singlet, and I just remember what that felt like to not have a painted on singlet of Kurt, and it's like literally giving me just anxiety thinking about how it would not look good in hand. So that's why I feel like I got to pass on this one. I feel like I got to keep the entrance grades one.
Right.
I'm probably going to regret.
And I think, well, yeah, we'll see. But again, I think it's one of those areas where if you have the entrance grades or you have another Kurt, you probably don't need it. But if you're someone who's just getting a Kurt or looking for that defining Kurt, that ultimate Kurt, the point of the line.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's there. So it might actually be cheaper than getting an entrance grades Kurt, and it's the ultimate. So
true. Yeah, no, you're right.
So I'm for that one.
Yeah. Then we have a new Roman. He's going to be in the line after the Kurt Angle. This is Series 20 Roman. This is like now we just got a Roman Ultimate, the one I picked that one up last year. It only came with only comes with the blue title belt. Now this year it's going to come with both title belts, not the brand new one. But the big thing with this is that it's new mold. So it's new pants mold and it's a new torso mold. So I like the previous one more. Because I like to think about my Roman being jacked to the gills. This one feels like a stubby version of that for some reason. I don't hate it. It's definitely a new head scan. I like it. Don't need it because I have the original, so I think I'll stick to the original.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I have been trying to find a WWE heavyweight title to go with the Universal title for that figure.
Well, I mean, you can get it here now because this one will have the side plates too, but you don't need it. I know,
and that's
right?
the problem. Like, I want the side plates that match, but I'm not that attached to it. Like,
I know, right?
If I can track down, but then I want an Ultimate Brock.
Right.
But I'm not going to get an Ultimate Brock, the form that I want to go with the Cody collection that is also has the WWE type. So
right. It's hard.
I'm just going to have
to track him down.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to make a choice and go with it, but I'm going to pass on this one. Everything else from this figure I have. It's not enough meat on the bone for me to rebuy something. So we'll just make it work.
Yeah. So. And then we have a new Target exclusive Legends Ultimate Edition, and it's Yokozuna in the regular. And then we have the Chase variant. So
yes,
I don't know which one I like more. I don't know if I really need either one, but I love the fact that he's going to get an Ultimate Edition. I like I don't know. I like it. I think that he deserves a place in the Ultimate line. Do I need it? Probably not. Will I think about getting it and get FOMO if I'm standing there looking at it on the shelf? Probably.
Absolutely getting this. Love the kimono that comes with it, the checkerboard kimono. Love the salt bucket. Every time I walk by, I'm going to do the FWF Major Wrestling Pod gimmick and start giving a do. Every time I do that. So I need this. I'm going to track one of these down. I'm getting the standard version. I like the red with the black a little bit more than I like the red with the white. So we're going to get that. It's going to be, I don't know if it'll be a fronter necessarily in my collection, although he's a big boy, so he might have to be a fronter. But I'm cool with that. So no harm, no foul. Love it. Can't wait to have Big Rodney in my collection.
Yeah, so this one now, the one that I'm really excited about that they brought up is the Ray that's on the screen right now. This Ray dude, this is my wheelhouse. So when I saw that they announced that this is going to be an Amazon exclusive Ray Mysterio Ultimate Edition, when they put this up, I went to Walmart and I canceled my other one that I had on there, the one that was coming out with the WrestleMania one. Immediately canceled it because this is the one I wanted the whole time. So
dude, that one is more
thankfully,
toyetic than this. Come on.
no, I don't even care. I don't like the eyes on that one. They got like some dead eyes. Like this is my Ray. I love this Ray, dude. So awesome.
And again, I don't necessarily have a huge connection to Ray. I get it, but I don't have a huge connection to him. So like, if I was gonna get a Ray, it would be that WrestleMania one with the big headpiece, and all that stuff, because it's toyetic enough that I'm like, dude, that's cool to see.
It is super toyetic and I like it, but I wouldn't have him displayed with the headpiece because it would look really weird in my collection, and I don't like the eyes.
Yeah,
they freak me out.
Yeah,
but
so I'm gonna pass on that one. So, but yeah, I like it. It's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so the one thing that did really pop up here that was pretty big was the new basics.
They're toys again.
They are actual toys.
Yep.
So here on the old screen ski, we have a new thing showing the new articulation of the end display that was at Comic-Con. So they now have jointed hips, and they have some more. They have ball joints in the arms now, which is humongous. They're actual toys again, and I'm super excited.
Yep.
Super excited enough that I picked up the Championship 2-pack that's over here on the right side of the screen with that Austin and Triple H. Got that because I love that Triple H. He will fit perfectly in my collection. Needed it, wanted it, got it. And I have accessories that I don't.
They have a Cody coming.
Yeah, they have a Cody coming as well. I have the accessories to complete the look of that Triple H. So I have them on hand already, which is why I got that.
A little smoke and mirrors. I like it.
You like that?
Nice.
But yeah, super, super, super excited for all that.
Yeah, you can actually collect these again and feel like you're not getting, it's not a waste of $10. And the price point isn't changing.
Right. The price point ain't changing, but you're getting more.
Yeah. So I'm glad they did this. If you listen to Major Wrestling Figure Pod, they spend a lot of time pooping on these, and rightfully so. They earned it. And so have you. Very true. They've earned it. And I only have one basic, and it's the Gray Pants Cody. And I bought it out of FOMO because, again, it's $10.
Right.
It's a backer. No big deal. But if they're going to actually put some more effort into this sort of thing, then I'm for it. So cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so we got some cool stuff coming up here. So we got elites. So we're gonna try to take a look at all of the elites that we can here.
Yep.
And so as you can see on the far left, we have Elite 105 with the new packaging. So it's got a small window bubble. Not that great. Not super excited to look at that. What are your thoughts on it?
Fart in church.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But
not big on it.
The big redeeming fact of that is that Scott Steiner is in that, and I absolutely got Steiner.
And I'm like, as much as I want to be an inbox collector, I'm not anymore. So it doesn't hurt my feelings. But like when you get one that you'll want to keep,
you got to look at that box. Doesn't that box look like crap?
Oh God, it's terrible. I don't like it, and I'm very sad about it.
Yeah.
But whatever. I do like that Dominic. I want that Dominic.
That Dom is sick. It's really going to be hard not to get that Dom.
Yeah, that's going to be one for the Cody Rivals collection. So, and the Paul Bearer.
The Paul Bearers are sick.
Yes, need that. I have to decide which one, but I need that, and I'm going to put him between the Kane Ultimate and the Defining Moments Taker that I have.
Yeah.
So it kind of serves double duty. I want that Chad Gable for my teacher collection. Need the Chelsea Green on screen here for my just to go with the major pod guys.
Yeah, that's
and
gonna
she
be.
took a lot of belt shots from her husband, so I'll throw $20 towards her stardom. So.
I was looking at the LA Knight for the Elite collection.
So, also, yes, that was going to be where I was going to go next, the LA Knight.
And then over here on the right for the for Elite 107, that Solo has an updated torso. Don't really need it. But Grayson Waller, first time in the line with a Chase variant. And then the one that really pisses me off is this Biker Taker here at the bottom. But I don't think that is a like early 2000s Biker Taker. I think that's like a newer Biker Taker, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that Balor too, because I've really appreciated his work.
Yeah, and if you get Balor, then if you get Dom, you got to get Balor, or vice versa. Then you got to start building out. Then you get your Rhea, then you get your Priest, then you got your Judgment Day.
I do want all of the Judgment. I really appreciate what they've done over the last year. So I will get all of those figures, and I'm cool with that. So the funny one in here is the Terry Gordy.
Yeah. I know Andretti's got some things to say about that, but we'll let him talk about it at some other time. But he was kind of really pissed about that Terry Gordy. He was like, why that one? But it's whatever. It's an obscure one. It's like Weasel, but it's like Weasel Heenan, so it's one of those deals.
And I think they tried to do a 2-in-1, so you can still get like a Terry Bam Bam Gordy and an Executioner,
right?
Kind of in the same thing. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks when it's all, when we see what it actually looks like. So we'll see.
But yeah, that I think that's gonna wrap up all of the WWE stuff. We have some AEW stuff that we want to talk about, and we want to kind of close with the AEW stuff because they don't really do a lot of stuff for Comic-Con. They like to do all of their stuff around the pay-per-views and stuff like that. But one that I really wanted to talk about, not only was the Supreme CM Punk here from the Double or Nothing last year, but the one thing that we really, really, really wanted to talk about is the Jazzwares Vault with the ROH figures and what that like. This is AEW and Jazzwares response to Mattel Creations, and these are supposed to be. These vault figures are going to be like one of 5,000s, I think, or one of 3,000s or something like that. They're going to be a very limited number. So
yeah.
Probably not something that I want to collect. However, the Briscoes, I feel like, is a must get for me.
That'll be a hot seller.
Oh yeah. And this cease and desist, like this Young Bucks set. This is the Young Bucks that you've wanted for years. Like,
yes, they're the ones who got over.
Right. And the cease and desist, like, come on. Like, that shirt is insanity.
Yeah, it is.
It's so
Those are the ones I would like. Those are the ones I want to display.
Yeah. So I like the idea of the Jazzwares Vault. We don't have any more information as of right now, but I really, really, really like it. It's a good idea, and if it's a way to get more limited style figures, that's I want the limited editions. I want the ones that are hard to get, and I want to be able to get them. And I think retail.
And I think it's interesting because these wouldn't survive at retail.
No, they wouldn't.
So this is a way to get those sort of fan service ones to the niche audience of people who, if you know kind of people,
right?
Which is a lot of what AEW is built on.
Right.
So to the folks, like, again, like a normal person, even I would say someone who came in to appreciating AEW like a year in, or even at the start of it, you see this cease and desist and the too sweet, and you're like, what the hell is that? Like, yeah, like if you didn't
go
watch
back
BTE,
to the archives to find this.
Right. So like, that's the one I'm interested in. That 2-pack there, I'm kind of interested in because those are the Bucks that like
those are the Bucks that we got back into wrestling with.
Right, exactly. Those are my Young Bucks. Not that I don't appreciate a lot of what they do now, but maybe not the fighting.
These are correct. These are my Young Bucks. These are when I think of the BTE Young Bucks, this is what I think about.
Exactly. I need a Bernard the Bear.
Oh my
Bernard the
god!
Business
If
Bear.
they gave
If
me
they,
a Bernard the Business Bear, I'd shit my pants. I'd buy
yes,
90 of
yes,
them.
yes, 100%. I need a case of Bernard the Business Bear. So that would be interesting to see. We'll see how it goes. But before we sort of wrap this up, I wanted to give a shout out to the Polka Dot Dusty Seth Rollins top picks.
That one is incredible.
That completes the Cody Hell in the Cell match group. I haven't unboxed that one yet, but when I get that Seth, I will unbox that Defining Moments.
And you can probably find that here on the Podski YouTube channel.
A little foreshadowing.
And because we are also doing, if you are new to the channel or you're looking for extra content for the channel, you've stuck around this long, might as well go check out the figure unboxing that I did of the Ultimate Edition Eddie Guerrero. We're going to, as we get more figures, we're going to start doing this more often. So tea leaves.
100% hashtag tea leaves. I also might do a Dr. JC retro corner where I unbox or review some of the older stuff that I have. I collect more than just wrestling figures.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some of that stuff we could maybe do the Gloob American series.
Okay.
I have Power Rangers stuff. I'm a big Power Rangers guy. So I can do some of the, some of that stuff as well if people are interested. And it sounds like we'll just kind of slowly bring this stuff out as people, as we have time to do this kind of thing. But should be fun and interesting. We both are big action figure guys, and so is Andretti. A big custom guy, that Andretti.
Big custom guy with that Battle Cat custom. That's my favorite one.
What a stuff.
Is there anything that you were disappointed that you didn't see? Because I'm a little disappointed we didn't get more Cody figures. Not that I was going to buy any more, but it was a little disappointed that there wasn't a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you another, I didn't mean to cut you off because I did ask you the question.
Yeah.
What a great host I am. But one thing I am really disappointed in is the fact that I didn't get a Ultimate Edition 2-pack of the Outsiders.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Because it feels like they're doing that with the Usos. Why can't they do that why can't that be a new thing?
Maybe they're waiting to see how it goes.
Yeah.
With the old J&J 2-pack.
Because I got them. They should be coming soon.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll see. Because I got a bloodline that I'm building out. Because I got Solo as well. So the only thing I don't have is a Heyman. I want to redo my modern wrestling center version when I want the bloodline to be the center with Cody and Seth and Kevin right behind them.
Gotcha. I like that.
We'll see if I unbox that Cody Ultimate because I have two. But I was told by Allison I was told by Allison I need to sell one of them.
Oh, I really thought about opening that. Like I have it in my display case and I have the flap down.
Right.
But I don't have it loose.
Right. And I'd like to have one loose one completely in box.
Yeah, me too. But then it's more space.
Right. And it's like, damn, what am I going to do with it?
Right.
But selling it right now, I'm going to lose money. So
yeah, you gotta sit on.
You gotta play a long game.
Yeah, about April when he wins the title, that would be a good time to move it.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think if I'm disappointed, I would have liked to see an elite suited Cody.
Okay.
You see a lot, like I know Jazzwares just did that not too long ago.
But you want to?
And I have version. That one. It's right. So that would be interesting. It would be cool. It'd be really cool if they did one that was that first promo after WrestleMania 39.
Yes.
Or after WrestleMania 38.
Uh-huh.
And like he owns the WWF belt.
Yeah.
That is shown in that picture. Imagine if they brought something out like a him and Dusty 2-pack.
Oh.
Where they have that broken belt. And then with whatever belt they crown him with.
Yeah. Like Dusty's holding the belt and then he's holding the other belt.
Yes. Could you imagine?
Like that is a piece that you keep. Oh my gosh.
Give me
like that's beautiful.
Pencil.
So give JC the pencil for next year's Mania. That'll probably be out for WrestleMania 41.
Look, if -1 can get a figure, Can we not get a Libby figure?
Eh,
A Pharaoh and Libby 2-pack.
we need a Pharaoh. We need Pharaoh
We
in
don't
the
need a
worst
Brandy.
way.
One Brandy.
We don't need. Yeah, we don't need a Brandy. We don't need another Brandy.
I have my my carded version of that signed.
Yeah, good for you. I don't know if anybody
John's like, I
wants
don't
it.
give a shit about that.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that one. But yeah, out of disappointments, I feel like I really wanted a Outsiders 2-pack that was an Ultimate Edition, and I felt like we would get that with the Monday Night Wars line, but instead we're getting more elites out of them. So it's kind of like, are we really ever going to get that? I don't know. The other thing that I'm really disappointed is that there wasn't more Steiners, and that's on Rick. So can't really, I don't know where you put that.
The dog-faced homophobe.
the I guess what I'm really disappointed in is that there was no. I felt like they used the WCW crowdfunder stage. They used it in the diorama, and like there's no mention of it. I'm sure they're never going to ever talk about it ever again because it didn't get funded. But like it would have been nice to have been like, we hear your concerns. We understand that like this wasn't funded because you guys didn't like for multitude of reasons. Like it would have been nice just to hear something about a crowdfunder and like what they plan to do in the future.
Yeah, and maybe they're just licking their wounds on it, and I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But I would say to the counter to that, what I'm most excited for is the Monday Night Wars line. I think is probably what I'm most excited for. The Ultimates out of that, like the Eric, the Brett, and the Roddy. Those are the ones I was most excited about to see.
Yeah, I agree. That and then that polka dot Seth.
Yeah,
Because
the
that
polka dot set for you
rounds
was pretty
out-
big.
Yeah, and that's like the match that Cody had in WWE that they're gonna play forever.
Oh, that's a moment.
Yeah,
That's gonna be played forever and ever.
right. So like to be able to complete that set, that's a big one for me. I definitely liked the angle quite a bit.
The angle it's good. I'm not sure about the soft goods.
The Brett is cool. That's the Brett I'm gonna have. I was looking for a Brett, so that's the Brett I'm gonna have. The George the Animal Steel we already knew was coming, but he's a teacher, so need
Yeah,
him.
the Coliseum collection's another big one I'm excited about.
Yeah. Yokozuna's cool. But yeah, I think overall I hate the packaging. So
Yeah, the new Elite packaging was a disappointment.
but
yeah,
I think there was a lot to look forward to, and
Yeah.
good stuff coming.
Absolutely, there's a lot to look forward to. It was a very successful San Diego Comic-Con because we both got the Sting Comic-Con exclusive. So we would like to do a figure review on that, but the reason that we're not going to is because we're not letting it breathe. So there's no point in doing a review and unboxing when it's just going to be sitting in the box anyway. So why
he's already tucked in the case. So
he's already
not going
tucked
anywhere.
away. He's safe and sound. He's here, and it's Sting.
Absolutely. I can't do that or I would blow out a lung. So.
But with that, thank you for listening, and make sure you check us out on socials at _Podski on Twitter and Instagram, the Podski with John Baker on YouTube. Make sure to follow the Podski Doc's journey to building his cases. If you've been following along, his cases are fully built. He's got them. I don't know if he's got them fully loaded yet, but you got most of them loaded. It looks
the
fantastic.
last one I needed. So when I bought just a very quick sidebar.
Yeah.
When I opened the last case to go to put it together, one of the shelves came pre-shattered, which was nice of IKEA.
Nice job, IKEA.
And thanks. I appreciate it, guys. So to get it replaced, they were willing to replace it for me with no problem, but I have to drive back to the store that I was at. And that's like 2 hours away. So I don't really have a need to go there at the moment. But I have 6 months, so I'm going to go get it.
See you at WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. Pro tip, I just went to, I measured it and took the dimensions of the shelves, and I went to Lowe's and had a $6 piece of glass cut. So
nice.
Now I can finish putting the lights up in that one. The other two are filled and have lights and weather stripped around.
Nice.
And they look great. And then there's 2 little shelves between them I'm going to fill with loose WWE and loose AEW. So still coming along, just the real life is getting hectic. So I am, as Conrad Thompson would say, busier than a one-arm paper hanger these days. So I will provide updates as I can, and then once I get it done, I'll maybe film a short collection tour. So.
Yeah, because I want to do a collection tour as well. Just waiting to get a few things in there and tidied up, and then but yeah, so be on the lookout for that on the YouTube channel. And yeah, so thank you for listening, and we will see you next time on the Podski.